Right guys, the first thing we're going to cook is an egg baked inside a pepper. Okay, it's a great way to cook because the pepper actually acts as our saucepan. This is really heat resistant, and we're going to crack the egg inside here and put this straight into the coals, and that's going to create loads of heat and loads of steam inside, and it's actually going to bake and steam the eggs. That's a really lovely way to do that. To do that, I'm going to use 2 eggs, 2 peppers and some peppercorns. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is very carefully chop the tops off the peppers. Okay, I'm using that claw technique that you've looked at in food tech, just to gently tease around. I want to leave the lid of the pepper intact because I'm going to use that, aren't I, to keep the steam in. So I'm just going to gently pull and twist that off. Okay, so I'm going to put this to one side because that's going to be my lid, and I'm just going to hollow out the inside of this. Remember, with a knife we always work away from ourselves. I've done this very carefully so I don't make any holes in the pepper, because obviously if we do make holes and we crack the egg inside, it's going to leak out. Okay. I'm happy with that. The pepper's empty, there's no holes in there, and it's nice and clean, ready to go. So I've got the base of my pepper and I've got my lid. Okay guys, the next step is to really carefully crack my egg inside my pepper. I want to try and keep the yolk intact, okay? So I want a nice runny yolk as that comes out. So I'm going to very carefully and gently break that open so it sits inside. Brilliant, and that yolk's still intact. So if we look at that, I've got my yolk inside. Just carefully grinding some pepper. And I'm going to sprinkle that over the top. I like the pepper nice and coarse. Loads of flavour in there. Fantastic. Okay, the lid can go on, and that is ready to sit in the embers of the fire. So as you can see guys, the pepper's just sat nice in the embers, the lid's on, and that egg should start to bake and to steam inside. Right guys, I'm going to make a dough for this bread. It's quite an interesting dough, this one, and it's made with yoghurt, which is quite cool. So the self-raising flour is going to give it its rise, and the yoghurt is going to really help to bind it nicely. So per person you need a big heaped tablespoon of yoghurt. I'm going to make enough for 1 piece of bread here. Okay, so I've got a nice big tablespoon in there. Alright, and then what I'm going to do is slowly add flour to that and stir it until it turns to a consistency or to a feeling that's similar to Play-Doh. Okay. So what we've got here guys is a lovely consistency for our dough. It's a bit like a Play-Doh. Okay, it's not too dry, so it's not leaving crumbs behind, and it's not too wet that it's all sticking to the spoon. There we go. I'm going to go and check on that pepper, roll this flat, make a grill and get this cooking too. Oh nice. It's been on there for about 5 minutes. That's starting to cook nicely. That white's turning, isn't it? And the bottom of that pepper looks like it's getting nice and crispy too. Okay guys, so what I've got here is a lovely ball of dough. It's rested for another few minutes, and it's not sticking to my hands, which is great. I've been to clean my hands again. I've dried them thoroughly because any other water on my hands would make that stick again, wouldn't it? All I've done is I've taken the ball and I'm just slowly rotating it in my hands, as you can see. Right, I'm working quickly so it doesn't stick, and I'm going to keep working that out until it's about ½ centimetre thick, and that is ready to cook. Okay, so it's nice and flat, it's nice and even. Alright, I've made myself a little green grill down by the fire that I'm just going to lay this across, and I'm going to get this cooking. So what you can see there guys is the pepper in the background nicely cooking away, and our green grill, which is just made up of 3 strands of green wood. Alright, they're not going to burn, are they? I've got a lovely bed of embers underneath there, and I'm just going to lay this nicely on top of that. Right, they're both cooking away nicely. In a moment I'm going to turn that bread over see what it looks like. I'll check on the pepper again and I'll see where we're at. I've just turned my bread over, it's looking good. Needs another 3 or 4 minutes in the other side, and then we're getting there. Let's have a look at that pepper. Oh lovely, that's looking great too. Alright guys, the pepper's off. Looks lovely and cooked inside. The edges are nice and soft too, which is brilliant. The bread's off too, and I'm ready to go. My bread's cut really nicely. Let's see what this egg looks like. I'm going to go straight through the middle, I think. Oh, look at that. The yolks are a little cooked, but not bad. Great, guys. That's a nice little lunch. We've got some carbohydrates, we've got some protein in the egg, we've got some fibre and some good vitamins and minerals in our pepper. Not a bad little lunch. That's lovely. Cheers.